Welcome to episode 309 of the Various and Sundry podcast. I'm your host, Matt Harmon, joined live in the Vault Studio on the beautiful campus of Grace College and Grace Theological Seminary by my good friend, my colleague, my co-host, and the man who is bundled up, John Scott Sloat.
What temperature did your phone tell you it was this morning when you woke up?
5 degrees.
Yeah, I had 3.
It's cold.
It is. That is February cold.
Yeah, it is.
It is December.
Yeah.
It is not February.
I guess that doesn't bode well for what is probably ahead of us this winter here.
You know what? There is. I have family members that do this. That will come to me like, they say it's going to be a bad winter this year. Yeah. And they say it annually. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know what almost never happens? It's almost never a bad winter.
Right.
They said it this year, and they go, well, I told you it's going to be a bad winter. Yeah. And this just reinforces their bad predictions.
I mean, it is unusual that we've had it's unusual to have this large of a snowfall before Christmas. That's unusual.
We're due for more snow tonight.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Tonight is in yesterday.
Yeah.
At the listening of this.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's I must say I was not mentally prepared, even though I knew it was coming.
For 6 to 7 inches of snow? Well, 10. You guys had 10 here, didn't you?
I think, between 8 and 10.
Okay.
And it was a rude awakening yesterday morning to discover that my snowblower would not start. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So just me and Kate shoveling.
Oh, how's the body feeling today?
You know, it's a little sore. And we do our neighbor's driveway as well. He's an older man, and he should not be out there.
Sure.
He's the one that actually –
It's his snowblower,
It's
right?
his snowblower.
Yeah.
So it's funny. He sent Kate a text. He's like, yeah, wow, this is great. I woke up this morning and saw my driveway was done, and I didn't – thank you so much. I didn't even hear the snowblower. That's because it wouldn't start. He's like, I feel terrible. Like, well, it's not your fault it didn't start. So
yeah.
Well,
any plans to fix the snowblower?
Well, not in time for this next round.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's coming tonight, right? 7 o'clock tonight to 7 a.m.?
Something like that. Something like that. Anyway, if you would like to – actually, before I even do let's do the rundown. Let's do our little intro here first. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find us on X at VNSPod. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at variousandsundrypodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and on YouTube, and we would love for you to leave a 5-star rating wherever you access the podcast. All right, John, now is the time for an important podcast announcement. Are you ready for this?
I think so.
Yes. The podcast can go on.
I was like, what?
Because, you see, until this past weekend, in the lifespan of the podcast, Ohio State had not beaten that team up north in a football game.
So I took this and twisted it at Thanksgiving. I mentioned my father-in-law, who's an Ohio State grad.
Yes. And a listener to the pod.
And a devoted listener to the pod. That Ohio State had not won since I married his daughter.
Okay.
And that was just a little chilling to him.
Yeah.
And he wasn't sure what to do.
Yeah. Well, we have a similar dynamic with our daughter-in-law. This was the first victory over that team up north that she has experienced since. Yeah.
Small sample size, though.
Yes.
Smaller sample size.
Well, since they've been dating.
Okay.
I mean, they started dating during essentially COVID.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean,
man.
Yeah, it's so, yes, Ohio State did defeat that team up north in dominant fashion. Did you watch any of the game?
I watched the whole game.
Okay.
Me and Mia sat there, and I explained the history of the rivalry, all these things. She napped through it.
Okay, well, I think she was just confident in the outcome.
Yeah. There was a severe commitment to sovereignty in that napping.
Yeah. I'll go to sleep. God's got this. So, yes, a dominant performance, 27-9 over that team up north, and a lot of exercising of demons for Ryan Day in particular, and as well as a lot of Ohio State fans.
Yeah. So my favorite moment of the game was Brutus.
Yes.
You know what I'm about to say?
Yes.
Riding Script Ohio on the field during a timeout, I believe.
Yes.
And then doing an X over the M.
Yes.
That was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Elite level mascot right there.
Yeah, that was some good trolling.
Because see, here's the thing. The only way that works is because there was enough, snow was starting to accumulate so you could make it visible. It's doing no damage to the field.
Yeah.
It's, so it's.
And then I equally love the Michigan's grounds crew going out there and wiping it,
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I love the superstition. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So, after that first quarter, Ohio State did not get off to the greatest start of all. Michigan got the ball first, marched down the field, kicked a field goal, and then Ohio State throws a pick on their second offensive play in their own territory, and you're like, oh, no, this is not good. That made it the third consecutive year that Ohio State's thrown an interception deep in their own territory in the game. Now, this time, of course, they forced a field goal, and so,
Which was their largest deficit of the year, 6 points.
Trailing by 6. So they get to the end of the first quarter, and you're like, okay, they're only down. By that point, they had kicked a field goal. They're only down 6-3. Like, okay, this isn't too bad. And then they just started. This Ohio State team is interesting in the sense that, yes, they have big plays. They had 2 long touchdown passes, one to Jeremiah Smith, one to Carnell Tate.
Carnell Tate had a great game.
Yeah,
by the way, he was very, very good. I was impressed.
He is absolutely a first-round draft pick for that team. And but what's interesting is this team is just they're like a boa constrictor. They squeeze the life out of you. And so in the third quarter, I don't know if you watched the game. They had a 20-play, 11-minute and 56-second drive. That's okay, so let's round up to 12. That's easier to say. So a 12-minute drive. That's 1/5 of the game. That's 20% of the game, all on that one drive where almost all of it was just running the ball.
Yeah.
3 yards here, 6 yards here, 5 yards here.
And that drains a defense.
Oh, it's utterly demoralizing.
Particularly the big guys up front.
Yeah.
Somehow for the offensive linemen it's energizing, but for the D linemen it's demoralizing.
Very much so. So, yes. So now Ohio State goes on to play Indiana in the Big Ten championship game this upcoming Saturday.
I'm excited about that game.
Number 1 versus number 2.
Yeah.
In a game that is meaningful. Yes, kind of. I mean, it's for the Big Ten championship and the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. But the loser is almost certainly still going to be one of the top 4 seeds.
Yeah.
And still get a bye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, you don't want to devalue the winning the conference is a big deal. Like, that's an accomplishment. But you see some people out there, both these teams should rest some guys. And not. I'm like, that's not going to happen. Both these teams are going to go all, especially, IU. Have they ever? Like, I'm sure somewhere in their history they've won a Big Ten football championship. But maybe like in the 50s or something.
I was going to say pre-Civil War.
I mean, a long time ago, right?
Yep.
And so they're all in. And Ohio State hasn't won one since 2019. They're motivated, and I think they also want to. How do I put this? Shut up some people in terms of people who are Johnny-come-lately to the to the college football world of being a big deal.
Yeah.
There are plenty of IU fans out there that are great and, bully for them for having they are a terrific team. But some of them talk smack like they've been Alabama for the last 20 years. It's like, okay, just dial it down a little bit. You still haven't really accomplished. I mean, you made the playoff last year, and you got worked by Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You have beat Oregon on the road. Okay, good. But until they do something, I mean, if they beat Ohio State on Saturday, that's doing something.
I mean, they beat Purdue. I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
That might have been a little too dry.
Yeah, maybe. So anyway, and I don't know if you followed you're not as big on the college football, but
I am not.
So there's a good bit of
I scoreboard watch. That's pretty much what I do.
Now there's a bit of drama when it comes to the college football playoff in terms of who's going to get in, who's not going to get in. There's going to be somebody, quote unquote, deserving that doesn't get in.
Sure.
But it'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out.
The drama I was following over the weekend was Ole Miss.
Yes, Ole Miss and LSU and Lane Kiffin.
Yes. Yeah.
It very much felt like a soap opera.
Yes, they kept talking about it. And Lane Kiffin,
he loves the drama.
He leans
loves
into it.
Now,
I think his life has changed quite a bit. Like I think he's gotten sober or something.
Yes.
And so I think he's I don't know if better person is the right term, or he's definitely behaving like an adult.
Yes.
In a way that he hasn't been as head coach of some of these major programs and NFL teams for a long time.
Yes, that's true.
So I'm happy for him, and I can understand that you cannot do what you can do you can't do at Ole Miss what you can do at an LSU.
Well, the big issue is LSU has deeper pockets for the NIL stuff.
Yeah. But it's still not as deep of pockets as probably Florida.
Now, see, that I don't know.
Just looking at the states.
There's a lot of booster money that goes towards that LSU program.
So one of the things I heard was that Nick Saban left Alabama because he was going, listen.
You mean left LSU?
No, Alabama.
Oh, you mean retired.
Retired.
Yeah.
Because he went, listen, we got to spend money like A&M, Texas A&M, or Texas.
Yeah.
He goes, we're not spending money like them. And the response was, well, they have oil fields in Texas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And so he's like, well, I'm not going to be able to compete in 10 years because they have more money.
Yep.
And I look at LSU, good football school, good history of the program, has a lot of boosters, a lot of wealthy boosters.
Yeah.
However, Louisiana.
Overall, not a booming economic
It's not
picture.
Texas.
Yeah.
It's not Florida.
Yeah, but Florida, LSU is the only school. There are other universities in Louisiana. But Florida, they've got Florida, they've got Florida State, they've got Miami as like three elite level D1 football programs.
Sure.
So there is that factor too. But to me, the obnoxious thing is, Lane Kiffin wanted to have his cake and eat it too, right? He wants to leave to go to LSU, but he wanted to coach Ole Miss
through the playoff. And they told him no, right?
They told him no.
Which is what they should have told him.
Yes, 100%. And he also basically gave an ultimatum to his offensive coaches. You either get on the plane with me and have a spot at LSU, or you don't get on the plane and you don't get a spot. Like you have to come with me right now. None of you can stick around. And
that's hard.
And there's also, he basically threatened them. He threatened the university, Ole Miss, with basically saying, "Look, I'm going to poach these players. Like, if you don't let me do this, I'm going to poach them. Like, I'm going to steal players. Like, this is what I hate about contemporary college football now. It's the NFL without rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the NFL has rules in terms of like free agency and contracts. And all. No such thing in college football these days.
Yeah, it's the Wild West.
It's absurd. So, I think some of the image rehabilitation that Lane Kiffin did, he lost a lot of that with how he's handled this exit from Ole Miss. So, in any case, it's going to be wild that you've got a team that has a legit chance, in my mind, to make a deep playoff run, and they're going to do it without their head coach and without several of their offensive staff. It's just, what a world we live in. It's bizarre. Okay, we have to give some space to talk about your Jets.
Yeah, they won.
They did.
They won. They won on Sunday. They beat the Falcons.
Yeah.
They played a solid NFL game.
Okay.
They played hard.
Now walk me through, because the last score that I saw was they were down 24-17. And then I was stunned to see that they'd actually come back and won 27-24.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Which touchdown was that? So I'll say this about the game in general. So Adonai Mitchell, who was a Georgia wide receiver, who was drafted by the Colts. I think he's in his second season. And
He was part of the Sauce Gardner trade?
yes, so we got 2 first-round picks in Adonai Mitchell.
Okay.
Adonai Mitchell has 4.3 speed and is one of the best separators in the NFL. And when he was with the Colts, he dropped he dropped at like the 1 yard line celebrating.
Yes, I remember that.
He did that.
Yeah.
He then was benched, like was not allowed to play again, and so was sort of a toss-in in this trade.
Yeah.
And ended up winning the game for us. But he had eight catches for 100 yards, including a 50-yard bomb from Tyrod Taylor.
That's solid.
So basically it was 17-24. Jets drive down the field. Tyrod Taylor scrambles for a touchdown.
Okay.
We get the ball. We stop them on defense. We get the ball back with like a minute left. We get within field goal range, 56 yards in the driving rain. And Nick Folk, who was a teammate of Aaron Glenn's when Aaron Glenn was a player, kicked a 56-yard field goal to win the game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And there was much celebration over
Yeah.
this. But yeah, Adonai, our GM has done a good job of finding talented players that other teams did not want that could be starters for us that have proved to play well.
Okay.
And so that's been really, really good. But yeah, Adonai Mitchell had a good game. Defense played well.
All right.
Beat up Kirk Cousins a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, the storyline was Adonai Mitchell and Tyrod Taylor taking us to the promised land. Breece Hall played very well.
There you go.
Good special teams.
Okay.
Yeah, Jets win.
So now in young Mia's lifetime, the Jets are now
3-2.
3-2. Okay.
3-2.
All right.
With losses to the Patriots and the Ravens.
Okay.
Wins against the Bengals, Browns, and Falcons.
There you go. Okay. All right. Maybe there's hope yet. I want to mention a couple of Grace sports notes here. We mentioned this last week, but they haven't played since then. The Grace women's soccer, their third round game is, well, when this episode drops, it'll be today. So tomorrow as of recording, today as of release. And then the Grace men's basketball team. Now
Let's go.
Ranked number one in the country.
It was supposed to be a down year for us.
At least a rebuilding year. Yeah.
Yeah. And, we have no seniors on the team.
Yes.
It's supposed to be a downish year for us. And they've been playing on fire. I've been to one game. You've been to several.
Yes. Yeah. This team is so good offensively that it's going to be difficult for a team to beat them. You're either going to have to be off the charts amazing defensively, like across the board, or you're going to have a similar level of scoring in terms of just like guys that can fill it up.
So I was telling my brother-in-law, he was asking me about the Grace men's basketball team, and I said, yeah, we're number one in the country. He goes, oh, great. What do you guys do? Score like 40 points a game and just slow it down? I said, not really. We're averaging like 98 points a game, something like that.
Yeah.
And we're running, and we're long, and we shoot.
Yeah. Everybody's 6'5" to 6'8". Athletic is I'll get out and can score.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's a dangerous team.
They're a lot of fun to watch. They do have their next game is this upcoming Wednesday against the Huntington Foresters.
Bum, bum, bum. I'll be there, will you?
I'll be on the call.
You'll be on the call?
I'll be on the call.
Okay. I'll be in the alumni suite.
There you go. Might have to come in there for some halftime refreshments.
Yeah. Who does the halftime game thing? Like they do a halftime well, here's the stats.
Nope.
You don't do any of that.
We do that like right at the end of the first half. We'll typically do some quick summary comments.
Some takeaways.
Yeah, a minute or two at most. And then with about maybe at like the 3-minute mark before the start of the second half, we'll come back and go through some stats.
Okay.
And talk through second half adjustments and that kind of thing.
Okay. So there's not a third party
We don't have
that
a
comes on.
dedicated halftime show. No.
You're not bringing on Stephen A. to talk about.
No.
Okay.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Maybe someday we'll start up a halftime show. There you go. But all right, John, we have to move on here.
Let's do it.
So today we are starting our Advent series.
Okay.
And we are taking a little different approach in looking at some of the characters in the Advent story. And so today we're actually doing two together, since that makes sense in light of their relationship to each other. We're doing Zechariah and Elizabeth.
Yes.
Parents of John the Baptist. So there's a lot of text here. Let's go ahead and read Luke 1, and let's read verses 5 through 26.
Okay.
That'll set the stage.
You want me to take this?
Go for it.
All right. Luke 1, 5 to 26. In the days of Herod, king of Judea, there was a priest named Zechariah of the division of Abijah. Am I getting that right? Abijah. And he had a wife from the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. And they were both righteous before God, walking blamelessly in all the commandments and statutes of the Lord. But they had no child, because Elizabeth was barren, and both were advanced in years. Now, while he was serving as priest before God when his division was on duty, according to the custom of the priesthood, he was chosen by lot to enter the temple of the Lord and burn incense. And the whole multitude of the people were praying outside at the hour of incense, and there appeared to him an angel of the Lord standing on the right side of the altar of incense, and Zechariah was troubled when he saw him, and fear fell upon him. But the angel said to him, "Do not be afraid, Zechariah, for your prayer has been heard, and your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you shall call his name John." Good name.
Solid.
"And you will have joy and gladness, and many will rejoice at his birth, for he will be great before the Lord, and he must not drink wine or strong drink, and he will be filled with the Holy Spirit, even from his mother's womb. And he will turn many of the children of Israel to the Lord their God, and he will go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to wisdom of the just, to make ready the way, for the Lord a people prepared." How far am I reading? 26?
Yep.
"And Zechariah said to the angel, 'How shall I know this? For I am an old man, and my wife is advanced in years.' And the angel answered him, 'I am Gabriel, and I stand in the presence of God, and I was sent to speak to you and bring you this good news. And behold, you will be silent and unable to speak until the day that these things take place, because you did not believe my words, which will be fulfilled in their time.' And the people were waiting for Zechariah, and they were wondering at his delay in the temple. And when he came out, he was unable to speak to them, and they realized that he had seen a vision in the temple. And he kept making signs to them and remained mute. And when his time of service was ended, he went to his home. After these days, his wife Elizabeth conceived, and for 5 months she kept herself hidden, saying, Thus the Lord has done for me in the days when he looked on me, to take away my reproach among the people.
Okay. So let's stop there. We'll pick up some other texts, but just as you read through this,
that was a lot more than I was anticipating.
Yeah, well, got to keep you on your toes. I mean, one of the first things that stands out to me is, at least initially, how both Zechariah and Elizabeth are introduced to us in terms of their faithfulness to the Lord.
Sure. Very Old Testament, like Noah was a righteous man sort of introduction to them. They're almost like an Old Testament person.
Yeah, absolutely. Verse 6, they were both righteous. I'm reading out of the CSB. That's why
it feels like we're having a role reversal
I know.
A little bit from back in the day. That was a deep cut.
Yeah, that was very deep. Both were righteous in God's sight, living without blame according to all the commands and requirements of the Lord. That does feel like a very Old Testament saint kind of description there.
It feels like Job or Abraham or somebody like that.
That definitely catches my attention there. And I think that's important because you frame that helps you understand, or at least put into context, Zechariah's unbelief.
Mm-hmm.
That you could easily walk away and go, "Gosh, what a ding dong! Like, come on! Like, the angel tells you this is going to happen. Why don't you believe it?"
Yeah.
And I think that's obviously oversimplified, but the reality is that here's a very faithful, righteous, godly man who just can't wrap his brain and his heart around his wife being able to have a child because, as is pointed out, that they are both advanced in years. They are, safe to say, beyond normal childbearing years.
Which is also kind of an Old Testament cut.
Very much so.
Right? I mean, Abraham and Sarah.
Yes. Yeah, the barren woman motif is prevalent in the Old Testament of a woman not being able to bear children and then God enabling her to have a child to advance his purposes in the world. So those familiar with the Old Testament reading this would go, "Oh, well, obviously, that makes sense." Abraham and Sarah, you've got Isaac and Rebekah as well, and even Jacob and it was which of his wives?
To Rachel?
Rachel. And then you got Hannah in 1 Samuel as well. There's a lot of allusions to 1 Samuel 1 and 2 in here. So, that's one of the first things that stands out to me. What are some other things that stand out to you about either Zechariah or Elizabeth here?
Oh, my goodness. Let's see. My goodness. I guess one of the things that's stuck out is he's a priest.
Yeah.
And I guess his wife is from the daughters of Aaron, which were like
also priestly descent.
Also priests.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's presented very much as a faithful priest, I think, in terms of just he's doing his required duty by lot. He's chosen by lot. God's sovereignly orchestrating that.
Yeah.
And these priests would live outside of Jerusalem and then come in for think of almost like the National Guard, right? Like you have these training sessions where you might have to go away for a weekend or a couple weeks in the summer, that kind of thing. Well, they'd have these rotations where these priests would come in and they do their service in the temple and then they go back home.
And supposedly he's done this before.
Yeah.
At some level. And
certainly if he's advanced in age, this is not his
This is not his first rodeo.
No.
However, the angel showing up and telling him about his son
that was new.
That's different.
Yeah. That hits a little different. So it's interesting that he is struck mute, like he's not able to speak as a result of his unbelief.
Yeah.
Which
Does that appear in the Old Testament anywhere?
being struck mute? Not that I can immediately think of. But what strikes me as interesting here is the fact that in one sense it's a form of rebuke, right? So you've got this sense of being unable to speak as a form of rebuke, but at the same time you've got, in one sense, it's authentication.
It's proof
that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a double-edged sword there.
What do you think Elizabeth is going like? My husband went in there, got me. I mean, does he write down for her what was said? I mean, I imagine there's got to be some communication,
some sort of charades. That and writing, because obviously later, as we'll see, he uses a tablet to write John's name to confirm.
You think he would have told her that in the original writing? Like, let me give you the explanation. Here's what happened.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think when he got back, the fact that he couldn't speak would immediately provoke some what's going on here, Zeke? So what's interesting though to me is verse 24. He says, after these days, his wife Elizabeth conceived and kept herself in seclusion for 5 months.
Yeah, why is that? I was going to ask you about that. Why is that?
Well, the text doesn't say.
Is there a level of shame that comes with being
advanced? I don't know about
advanced?
shame. No, I think it's more of. Okay, so I'm going to present this as speculation. Okay, so just to be clear. Part of me wonders if this is her way of waiting until she was certain that this pregnancy was
going to go to term.
Again, I want to be careful about reading way too much into this, but it's certainly understandable, and the text doesn't say, whether she'd had miscarriages before or not. But in any case, regardless, the fact that she had obviously wanted a kid for so long, and now, I almost wonder if it's sort of like a defense mechanism, right? Like, if I tell people and then then it ends up not happening, or I lose the child, it's more difficult. I'm not sure. So in any case, lots that we could talk about there. For the sake of time, I want to skip over Elizabeth and Mary's interaction. We see Mary comes to visit Elizabeth after the angel tells Mary, you're going to have a kid. Though it's interesting that, in that, so this is in verses 39 through 45. It's interesting, you look at verse 41, when Elizabeth heard Mary's greeting, the baby leaped inside her, and Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit. And then she begins to explain, like basically what she says is, how is it that the mother of my Lord's coming to see me? So she gets it at some level. Now, whether Mary had sent advanced word or what, we don't know, or it could just be that the Holy Spirit's telling her, hey, this is what's happening. So hard to know for sure. But I want to jump to Zechariah's speech here. After John is born, and so they go to name him on the 8th day. They go to give the name of John, and everyone's like, but that's not a family name. Like, what are you doing? And, he writes out on the tablet, which I kind of chuckle when I see he asked for a writing tablet. And I think, how many people today, younger generations, tablet, like the legitimately thinking like iPad.
He had an iPad.
Yeah.
Maybe a Kindle Fire.
There you go.
It wasn't an advanced society.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. So he writes his name as John, and he's able to speak again. But then it's interesting, verse 67. Then his father Zechariah was filled with the Holy Spirit. There's that idea again. And prophesied. Blessed is the Lord, the God of Israel, because he has visited and provided redemption for his people, He has raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, just as he spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets in ancient times, salvation from our enemies and from the hand of those who hate us. He has dealt mercifully with our ancestors and remembered his holy covenant, the oath that he swore to our father Abraham, to grant that we, having been rescued from the hand of our enemies, would serve him without fear, in holiness and righteousness in his presence all our days. And you, child, will be called a prophet of the Most High, for you will go before the Lord to prepare his ways, to give his people knowledge of salvation through the forgiveness of their sins. Because of our God's merciful compassion, the dawn from on high will visit us, to shine on those who live in darkness and the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of peace. Now, this isn't surprising, but one of the things that stands out to me is when you read that, here is a guy that knows his Old Testament. And how all of these phrases are, if they're not allusions to the Old Testament, they are summaries of Old Testament ideas. And so you see it littered all throughout there, mentioning, God's promise to David, God's promise to Abraham, and he is seeing, inspired by the Spirit, that the birth of his son is the precursor to the arrival of these promises being fulfilled. What else stands out to you, even as you look at what Zechariah says there?
I mean, just sort of the intentional tying together of David and Abraham stands out to me significantly there.
And I would argue that in Luke's gospel, and I haven't done enough work on this to see how many other scholars have kind of argued this, but I would suggest to you that these first two chapters really provide you with a hermeneutical and interpretive grid to understand what's about to follow. That, in particular, these poetic speeches. You've got
the Magnificat.
You've got Mary's in chapter 1 earlier, and now you've got Zechariah's here at the end of chapter 1. And then you get into chapter 2, and you will get Simeon in the temple courts. And so I think these poetic sections provide a hermeneutical key to understanding what's about to happen in the Gospel of Luke, and how they are the fulfillment of the Old Testament hope, and that there's a universal scope to this, that it's not just God fulfilling his promises to Israel, which is true, but that God's purposes for humanity are about to be realized here in the arrival of Jesus.
Do you think Zechariah saw that clearly, that this was universal for all humanity? I mean, he says in verse 7 of the passage, or 71, that we should be saved from our enemies. Do you think he sees his son, the precursor, as a precursor to a Messiah that's going to rise up and overthrow Rome? Or does he see him as the one who's going to save him from humanity from its sin? Or does he see him as both? I'm asking you to speculate a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think, if you look at verse 77, to give his people knowledge of salvation through the forgiveness of their sins, to me sounds like it's much more focused on spiritual salvation, not necessarily deliverance from Rome. Though, we tend to separate those things out, and for a first century Jew like Zechariah, I'm not sure that would have been a strong.
That's not necessarily how John focused, though. In his right, it was baptism of repentance.
Yeah. He was definitely not. Well, what's interesting about John is that he was not someone who ends up being like, he wasn't advocating for we need to overthrow the Romans.
Yeah,
but he also speaks and criticizes political power. Herod in particular.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And so it's not like he's this like complete ascetic who's like, I'm removed from all the political scene. I'm not going to speak into it at all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's also not advocating for a new political order that's going to change things in that sense.
Interesting.
So lots of stuff that you could reflect on there. I mean, goodness, if you're looking for something to preach on a Christmas Eve service, you could almost just take a line or two out of Zechariah's prophecy and just unpack that and have yourself a nice Christmas Eve sermon there. So in any case, we need to move on. We have part 2 of our Advent series coming up next.
Who we cover next week?
It's a good question. I'll have to go back and look.
We wrote it down.
We did.
There was some forethought.
Yeah. I'll check with my administrative assistant, and we'll
sounds good.
We'll figure that out. But time now for This Day in Sports History.
All right, This Day in Sports History, December 2nd, 2025. We're coming to the bitter end. Less than 3 weeks till Christmas.
Well, not less than 3.
3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, not less than.
I guess I meant 3 weeks till Christmas.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. 1944, 3 weeks till Christmas. 10th Heisman Trophy Award goes to Les Horvath of Ohio State. Did I say that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I know nothing about the guy, other than they handed out the Heisman Trophy very early.
Yeah. That was the 10th one in 1944.
Yeah. 1948, after one of the best seasons in baseball history, St. Louis Cardinal utility Stan Musial is named NL MVP.
Yeah. Yeah.
With some impressive statistics. 365 average, 135 runs, 131 RBIs.
I mean, he led the NL in all these categories: batting average, runs, RBIs, hits, doubles, triples, and slugging, and
39 homers.
Yeah. So that's pretty impressive.
72, Romanian tennis star Natasi. Am I saying that right?
Well, you got to get his first name first.
Oh, did I miss it? Oh.
Eli
Natasi.
Nastasi. There you go.
Successfully defends his Masters Grand Prix title win over America's Stan Smith in Barcelona.
There you go.
1982, American track and field record holder Steve Scott, love that name, sets record for fastest round of golf played on a regulation course, posting a 95, completing 18 holes in 29 minutes, 33 seconds.
Yeah. And note, he only used 2 clubs.
Oh, yeah, he only used 2 clubs.
Doesn't tell which ones. Surely, what do you think? Like, would you use maybe like a 2-iron?
I might go 5-iron. I think I could hit it more consistently. Yeah.
And then could you putt with that, or would you have to go with a putter, or could you use something unorthodox to
maybe
putt?
You go with a driver and like a 7-iron,
and
you
then
could putt with the driver.
Yeah.
And it says he ran between holes. I'm willing he ran between shots.
Yeah, absolutely.
1990, the Cincinnati Bengals defeated the Houston Oilers 61-7, the largest margin of victory in NFL history at the time.
That's a big
big gap.
Yeah.
In 1984,
did
I skip one?
No, I think I just misplaced that again. That's the second straight week I've done this where I've put it out of chronological order. Yeah.
84, Miami quarterback Dan Marino, never heard of the guy, breaks NFL season touchdown pass record when he throws his 37th touchdown in the Dolphins' 45-34 loss to the Raiders, finishing the season with 48 touchdown passes.
That's pretty wild that he breaks it that early. The previous record was 36, and he ended up with 48.
Yeah,
and now it's 50. Is it
Brady? Brady hold it?
Something over 50.
Yeah, I think Brady holds it.
It's either Brady or Drew Brees, I think. One of those two, I think.
Yeah, because it was Manning. Manning broke that record.
Yeah, I think so.
And then like a season or two later, Brees or Brady? I feel like it was Brady.
Probably Brady, unfortunately. So who do you like out of this? I know we're not going with the Romanian tennis star. So.
We're not going with the Romanian tennis star, nor shall we go with Dan Marino.
I mean, we could go off the radar and go Steve Scott.
I like Steve Scott. It's an easily pronounced name, 2 syllables.
Let's do it. I know we've never gone with Steve Scott.
Scott.
We will never go with him again. So,
is that still the record?
I don't know. We'd have to.
We'd have to use our Google machines to get there.
Yeah, fire up the big mainframe.
Would you want it? I've heard. Have you heard? What's the actor's name that plays a round of golf and does this when he plays golf and plays golf every day? Oh my goodness. Anyway, oh my goodness, from Boston. But was in Invincible. It's a
Wahlberg. Is it a Wahlberg?
Yeah, it's a Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
He does this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he works out at 5 a.m. and then this is his cardio, is playing golf and running between shots.
Okay.
He did that for a season. I don't know if he's still doing that.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
pretty interesting.
Steve Scott it is. One thing you liked.
Over the Thanksgiving holiday, which Thanksgiving was lovely.
Yeah.
Certainly loved it.
We didn't talk about your Thanksgiving holiday. How did the bird turn out? The smoked turkey. How did it turn out?
It's delicious. It was a delicious bird. I've never done a turkey for you, have I?
No.
My turkey's very good.
Yeah.
But I'm
pumpkin pie. Wait, did you?
I smoked a pumpkin pie one year.
Yeah. Because this is also a deep cut. There was a time period.
There was a short season.
It's like, was it 3 years in a row?
3 or 4.
Yeah. Where the Harmons and the Sloats would get together on Black Friday.
Yes.
The day after Thanksgiving, when your family would come into town.
Yeah.
This is before you were married.
Yeah.
And so, Scott and Celeste would be there. One year we had a couple of years at least 1 year, I remember, we had the whole family.
Well, 1 year we met at your house. And then 1 year I had a buddy. I used this Airbnb downtown Warsaw.
Yes.
And we met there.
I remember that one very well. I remember some specific conversations that took place at the dinner table that got a little tense. But
yeah.
But
I'm not going to mention any of that. I'm going to mention something entertainment that my wife and I very much enjoyed. Stranger Things Season 5.
Okay.
The finale dropped. So the first 4 episodes of the 8-episode season dropped. The next 4 will drop on Christmas Day.
Interesting. All right.
So we were very, very excited about that.
What season are we up to?
This is season 5 and the final season.
Okay, so they've said this is it.
They have. I think there's some questions if you put a question mark on that. If they're trying to fake you out.
Yeah. Okay.
Because in the preview they had this scene where the bad guy's picking up one of the kids and says, "I've used you a ton. I'm going to use you again." And then they didn't use that. They had a big fake in there for the actual show. So
interesting.
But yeah, definitely very excited.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go with in one sense, the obvious, but it's no less true, is the fact that it's good to have all of our kids together. So Jake and Autumn and John.
Nice.
All 3 of them, plus, Kate and I together. Just as they get older, it feels like those times feel further and further apart and fewer opportunities. But just good to hang out with them, and grateful for that time that we got with them over the Thanksgiving break. Just grateful for that, and especially as we approach our, Lord willing, this is going to be our last holiday season in our current home. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you announced that on pod, or was that the first? Was that the first allusion to it?
I don't know.
You want to call it an illusion or a foreshadowing?
Yeah, cryptic. I suppose I should. There might be a few people who get a little panicky. I'm not leaving Warsaw or Grace. Okay, so everybody just chill.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah. End the speculation there. So, all right, and that is my one thing I liked. All right, John, we have talked some college football and how Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate saved the podcast. They didn't know they were saving the podcast, but they saved the podcast.
And what was the running back's name yesterday? Was it
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. Yeah. Great name.
Yes. His actual name's Lamar.
Oh.
But his dad nicknamed him Bo. So either way, I mean, Lamar Jackson, Bo Jackson, named after some dynamic people.
Yeah.
So we talked some football. We talked about Zechariah and Elizabeth and the start of our Advent series. We talked about Steve Scott and his unorthodox approach to golf.
Great Scott.
We talked about Stranger Things Season 5. And we talked about getting to hang out with the kids. And so, I think, by definition, we have covered our various and sundry topics. And so all that's left to say is, until next time, the Lord bless y'all real good.
Later.